My name is Keely Harrell, and I'm the coordinator of Dyslexia Services for Lubbock Cooper ISD. I'm so glad to be able to provide some valuable information to you about dyslexia and the dyslexia therapy programs that we utilize at Lubbock Cooper. Before I begin the presentation, I want you to think about these three words: love, learn, and leave. These three words are at the heart of every dyslexia therapy classroom. First, love. From when your child enters a dyslexia therapy room until the last day of therapy, we want you to know that your child will feel loved in our classrooms. Our classrooms are a positive learning environment where your child will feel comfortable and thrive. Second, learn. Your child will spend approximately 2 to 3 years in dyslexia therapy, where they will be guided through a multisensory program of intense, systematic instruction. Your students will also learn strategies to help them become better readers, spellers, and writers. And finally, leave. When your child leaves dyslexia therapy, we want them to have a newfound love of reading and learning. Your student will leave our therapy room with confidence that has been fostered through small successes and positive learning experiences in reading, spelling, and writing. Let's begin with the definition of dyslexia. Dyslexia is a specific learning disability that is neurobiological in origin. That means that the student is born with it. It is characterized by difficulties with accurate and/or fluent word recognition, and by poor spelling and poor decoding abilities. Some secondary consequences of dyslexia are problems in reading comprehension, reduced reading experience, impeded growth in vocabulary, and background knowledge. Dyslexia is the most common specific learning disability, and it is a lifelong condition. However, effective interventions reduce the impact of dyslexia. According to the Dyslexia 2021 Handbook, the primary characteristics of dyslexia are difficulty learning the letter names and sounds, difficulty reading words in isolation, difficulty in decoding unknown words, lack of fluency, reading slowly with many mistakes, and difficulty with learning to spell, understanding what is read, and writing sentences or paragraphs. When a student is referred for a dyslexia evaluation, they receive an FIIE, a complete or full individualized initial evaluation by a certified diagnostician, and an IEP or an individualized education plan is developed that may include dyslexia therapy, accommodations, and other classroom supports. Dyslexia occurs on a continuum, and your student may or may not exhibit difficulties in all of the primary characteristics. Dyslexia can range from mild to moderate to severe. Because of this, the signs of dyslexia fall along a spectrum, and identification will involve looking for a cluster of characteristics. A lack of intelligence or motivation on the part of a student does not cause dyslexia. It is caused by differences in the brain and how the brain processes language and information. Now at Lubbock Cooper, we utilize two different dyslexia therapy programs that are approved by the State Board of Education. The programs are Take Flight and Reading by Design. These programs provide instructional approaches that are multisensory, process-oriented, systematic, sequential, and cumulative, and are meaning-based. Let's focus our attention on the instructional components within the dyslexia therapy lessons. The dyslexia therapy curriculums provide explicit language teaching that is systematic, cumulative, direct, and sequential. Direct instruction in alphabet skills, decoding, fluency, phonemic awareness, spelling, and comprehension skills. Your student receives direct instruction in these skills in the dyslexia therapy classroom. Alphabet instruction. A student's ability to recognize and name the letters in the alphabet is a good predictor of how ready they are to learn to read. Every lesson in the dyslexia therapy programs have an alphabet component. In alphabet instruction, we work on recognition of the letters, sequencing the letters of the alphabet, alphabetizing, and accent. Naming alphabet letters in and out of sequence with automaticity is vital to reading readiness. The dyslexia programs incorporate a variety of fun and interactive alphabet activities that promote alphabetic mastery. Discovery, auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. Our dyslexia therapists use multisensory strategies that incorporate visual, auditory, and kinesthetic sensory modalities to help students discover the new learning in each therapy lesson. Students use auditory discovery to discover the new sound or phoneme. Next, students use visual discovery to discover a new letter or letters and match the letter to the new sound. And last, students use kinesthetic discovery as they learn the strokes and write the letter in cursive. Multisensory methods foster the connection of oral language with visual language. Decoding instruction. Decoding is looking at letters and translating them into speech sounds. Decoding links all the letters and sounds in the English language. There are 26 letters, 44 sounds, and 98 letter clusters in the English language. In the therapy classroom, your student learns how to use coding marks to help them read and to help them identify the different syllable types. For example, a breve placed above the vowel U will tell your student to read that U with its short vowel sound. Additionally, students will use the coding the straight line for a macron to identify long vowel sounds. The ultimate goal of decoding instruction is the immediate, trouble-free translation of the printed word to the spoken word. In other words, the ability to see a word and read it automatically. Instant word recognition. In the dyslexia classroom, therapists explicitly teach students how to code words and recognize syllable types and syllable division rules. Fluency instruction. Fluency is reading accurately at a smooth and even pace. In our fluency instruction, we look at or utilize RAP, which means repeated, accurate practice. Your students will also participate in instant words, timed readings for rate, and repeated readings for smoothness. Fluent reading is accurate and conversational. It allows a reader to focus more attention on the meaning of words rather than decoding the words. Our dyslexia classrooms use a program called the 6-Minute Solution for fluency. Please ask your child each week about the fluency passage. Your student should be practicing their passage daily at home with you. Fluency practice builds working memory and fosters quicker reading rates. As fluency increases, students develop the ability to think about what they are reading while they are reading. They can interact more with the text and enjoy reading. Phonemic awareness instruction. Phonemic awareness instruction increases sensitivity to how we make the sounds. What happens with our tongue, teeth, lips, air, voice, and how does it feel? We ask those questions to the students in each therapy lesson. Phonemic awareness instruction increases the appreciation that sounds make syllables, that make words, that form sentences. Phonemic awareness is the ability to recognize, think about, and manipulate individual sounds in words. Phonemic awareness plays a crucial role in helping students learn to read. Phonemic awareness activities help students connect the spoken language to written language. It develops the ability to separate, blend, and manipulate the sounds in words. Spelling instruction. Spelling instruction in the dyslexia therapy classroom links the 44 sounds in English with the letter or letters that represent those sounds. Spelling instruction is direct, and we utilize spelling generalizations and spelling rules. Spelling instruction for students with dyslexia is integrated with reading instruction. In our therapy programs, students learn to spell words with sounds and patterns that are first introduced in reading. This method helps students recognize orthographic patterns. Comprehension instruction. Comprehension is getting meaning from what is read. It is provided through direct instruction with previewing, predicting, identifying important information, and developing self-correcting strategies. The goal of reading is to comprehend. When time permits, the therapist will work on comprehension skills and vocabulary development through a variety of activities in the dyslexia therapy classroom. We strive to share responsibilities among parents and students to help our students become better readers and writers and increase their success in the classroom. School-to-home connection. To reinforce the school-to-home communication, we utilize daily homework to reinforce learning in each lesson. We also utilize a 9-week progress report that reflects progress in sight word accuracy, reading fluency, spelling, and word recognition. Home to school communication monthly calendar. The monthly calendar records assignments. These include daily homework, a reading log, and a place where the parent can verify that the student has completed assignments, and we ask that you write your initials. To promote connection between the home and school, and to make you aware of what your student is learning in the dyslexia therapy classroom, we have this monthly calendar. Parental involvement with homework is vital to the success of the dyslexia therapy program. When you work on homework with your student, you are reinforcing what they are learning in the dyslexia therapy classroom. You are helping them develop good study habits, responsibility, and work ethic. You are also made more aware of what your child is learning in our classrooms. This calendar details the homework. Your student should have a dyslexia folder that houses all of their dyslexia materials. Please check the folder daily. Make sure your child completes the homework and initial on the calendar that you saw the homework completed. The therapists have a variety of incentives and prizes tied to completing their homework. Here's an example of one type of calendar that you may see in your child's dyslexia folder. On this calendar, you can see where there is a place for you to sign your initials to tell the teacher that you know that your student had homework, that they completed their reading log, that they completed their handwriting, their rap, their instant words, their rate passage, etc. Your support and involvement in your child's education is crucial to their success in school. Your role as a parent is to complete homework assignments together in handwriting, rap, instant words, and the fluency passage. Also, you can note it on their oral reading log, and on the calendar, write your initials. Every therapy lesson will have a handwriting piece practiced in the classroom first and then sent home for extra practice. Our handwriting practice focuses on lowercase cursive handwriting. Your student learns that every letter begins at a consistent starting point for each letter. The cursive handwriting reduces reversals of letters and provides unique letter shapes. Our focus is on teaching cursive handwriting. We teach 4 basic strokes: swing up, stop, push up and over, curve under, over, stop, and swing way up, loop left. Cursive writing promotes an unbroken flow of writing and lessens confusion with directionality. We have handwriting checkpoints that encourage correct pencil grip, observe writing position. We want their feet flat on the floor, their back straight. We would like their paper anchored with their non-writing hand. Their paper needs to be parallel to their writing arm, and the pencil should be pointing over their shoulder. This slide shows the 4 basic cursive handwriting strokes and their corresponding letter. We have swing up, stop, push up and over, curve under, over, stop, and curve way up, loop left. From this slide, you can see which letters of the alphabet utilize which stroke. This is an example of a handwriting linkage page. The students complete the top portion during a lesson, and the bottom portion is homework. Your student will have handwriting practice homework at least 2 to 3 times per week. The specific directions for writing each lowercase letter are found at the top of each page. For example, on this page, you can see the directions for making a lowercase p. Rap practice is another way to practice fluency. The purpose of rap is to connect the printed letter to its name and sound, to develop accurate and effortless reading through repeated practice, and to increase reading speed while maintaining accuracy. Overlearning patterns fosters instant word recognition, and it promotes fluent reading. Your student will have rap homework at least 2 to 3 times per week. Here is an example of a rap page from Lesson 1. As you can see, it is very simple. The student names the letters P and B as quick as they can. This is an example of a rap page from Lesson 5. Students practice reading real and nonsense words with a simple pattern. This slide shows the progression of difficulty in rap when the students read words with longer patterns. Notice that the words incorporate patterns that are learned in previous lessons. Each lesson and rap page builds upon the syllable patterns that are taught in the previous lessons. It is cumulative. This slide shows a rap page that combines 8 different lessons. The dyslexia programs provide practice with the 300 most frequently words seen in reading. This is known as instant word practice. Instant words are a list of 300 words that occur frequently in reading. The purpose of instant words is to provide repeated practice of the 300 words presented in groups of 10 and to develop rapid, accurate word recognition. The program provides repeated practice of instant words in multiple formats to develop automaticity. The first 300 words make up about 65% of all written material. Your student will have instant word homework at least 2 to 3 times per week to read the list of instant words to you at home. Here are examples of the 3 different formats your child practices in instant words. On this slide, you see that your student would be practicing the instant words in columns. You'll notice that the same 10 words are repeated, but it's just in a different order. So the homework would include reading these words out loud to you. Here is another example of the format of instant words. These words are the same words that were written in columns. The difference is that now they are written in rows. The words are the same 10 words that are repeated, and your child would read these words to you at home. Another format your child will read instant words in is phrases. You'll notice that the phrases utilize the same words that your child read in rows and in columns. And lastly, the instant words will be in sentences. You'll notice that each of these sentences combines the different words that are found in the rows, columns, and phrases, and those have been used to form sentences. So for this homework, your child would read the entire page to you. Many parents ask us what they can do at home to help their child with reading. And the answer is always read aloud to or with your child every single day. When reading to your child, you provide a model of how fluent reading sounds. The purpose of reading aloud together is to connect pleasure with reading, to expose your child to quality literature, to provide a good reading model. It increases vocabulary and it expands their background knowledge. Your goal should be to read a minimum of 15 minutes per day with your child. This slide provides some amazing facts about reading with your student daily. Children who read 1.3 minutes per day will have read approximately 106,000 words in a year. Children who read just 10 minutes per day will have read approximately 622,000 words in a year. And children who read 15 to 20 minutes per day, which is what we recommend, will have read approximately 1,300,000 words in a year. The reading statistics refer to students who read these extra minutes per day outside of school. So your child could read in the car, on the bus, in your living room, at bedtime, at the kitchen table. We encourage students to read daily, and we reward them when they do. Your child should have a reading log in their dyslexia folder to record daily minutes of reading at home. This could be you and your child reading together, your child reading out loud to you reading out loud to your child, or any combination of those things. When your child has a reading experience at home, record it on their reading log. Each dyslexia therapist has incentives and rewards for students who complete their homework and their reading logs. So in the reading log, be sure to record the minutes read aloud. Provide the date of the reading and the title of the book. Who is reading? The parent, or reading to the student, or the student reading out loud. A minimum of 15 minutes of oral reading daily is what we suggest. This may be a combination of student reader plus other, including books online and audiobooks. Here's an example of what the reading log may look like. You'll notice that there is a place to write the date, the title of the book, the number of minutes the student read, the number of minutes the parent or someone else was reading with the student, and then the total students read on that day. The most important thing about reading with your child is that you create a successful read aloud experience. Have enthusiasm when you're reading. Be excited. Use expression when you're reading. Create different voices for different characters. Make sure your voice is animated so that your student can tell who is reading and what the characters are saying. Be able to distinguish between the characters in the book. And make sure that the experience is enjoyed. Enthusiasm, expression, animation, and enjoyment together create a successful read aloud experience for your child. In creating a successful read aloud experience, you want to establish a daily routine. You want to eliminate interruptions. Enjoy first and then teach. Examine the illustrations. Look at the pictures. Explore the story further, especially if it is a nonfiction book. You could research the topic further with your child if they are really interested in that topic. Here are some final thoughts about reading aloud. There are no right or wrong ways to read aloud, but anything you can do to make the experience more fun will encourage your kids to love reading for the long term. The love of reading is created by the emotional sparks between a child, a book, and the person reading. It isn't achieved by the book alone, nor by the child alone, nor by the adult who's reading aloud. It is the relationship winding between all three, bringing them together in easy harmony. This is from Mem Fox, an author. At the beginning of this presentation, I stated that when your child leaves dyslexia therapy, we want them to have a newfound love of reading and learning. We hope they leave our therapy room with confidence that has been fostered through small successes and positive experiences in reading, spelling, and writing. You are an integral part of the success of the dyslexia therapy program. When you work with your students at home on their homework and read with your students at home, you are supporting and advancing their literacy skills. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation about the dyslexia therapy programs at Lubbock Cooper. We are always available to answer questions that you might have about these programs and about the progress your student is making in our therapy. Here are the dyslexia therapists, the campuses, and email addresses. Please reach out to any one of us at any time if you need to. Have a blessed day.